Depression Baby. Stories about growing up in Appalachia and other things too. With my dad, Ray B. Rogers.
On August 16th, 1929, I came into this world kicking and screaming. I reckon that made me a depression baby.
Depression Baby is a World Songs media production. Brought to you by Depression Baby the Book, available in Kindle, paperback, and hardcover, and soon audiobook at raybrogers.com. In this episode, Ray tells us about a case of justifiable homicide. It's probably not what you think.
I have pondered for many months as to whether I should write about this event, not knowing what the statute of limitations might be for this alleged violation of inhumane rights. And since my beloved brother and uncle are deeply involved, this troubles me. Also, even my mother was allegedly involved after the fact. This all began with my brother Mark having a deep-seated motivation to obtain a college education. My brother knew that if he wanted to go to college, that it was his own responsibility to save the money. So Mark, or maybe Mother, approached Granddad Medford for assistance. This was not for a loan, but for the use of a plot of his land in order to grow a crop of tobacco. Mark figured that the tobacco crop would yield enough for tuition and other expenses. Mark planted and harvested his tobacco crop with a lot of hard work. The tobacco was cut and hung in the barn. And then the plot thickens. It seems that there was a neighbor woman who owned a flock of chickens, but did not feed them. Instead, they came across the road and they ate the food that Mother had put out for our chickens, and then they went back home to dutifully lay their eggs. Then, to add insult to injury, the neighbor's chickens decided to roost in Granddad's tobacco barn, above Mark's tobacco crop, and leave their droppings on his beautiful tobacco. Repeated requests to the neighbor to keep her chickens at home were ignored. Mark had to get the chickens out of the barn or have a ruined tobacco crop, and consequently no college money. Mark discussed his dilemma with his Uncle Jack Rogers, and together they arrived at a solution. Mark would climb up into the barn after the chickens went to roost. He would gently swing each chicken back and forth after tucking the chicken's head under its wing. The chicken would then go to sleep, and it could be passed down to the ground by an accomplice. Each chicken would quietly lose its head, only to be plucked and dressed ready for the cooking pot. The caper was quietly achieved late at night, with no noisy, squawking chickens to spoil the plot. When all of these chickens arrived in Mother's kitchen, her canning instincts took over, and the chickens soon arrived in the basement to be displayed, along with her beautiful canned peaches, blackberries, pickled beans, pork sausage, jellies and jams, and much more. The canned chickens did not spoil, and nobody got sick after eating the wayward chickens, so all must have been well with St. Pete and his heavenly associates. Mark got to go to college and subsequently became a distinguished and noted scholar. Forgiveness was surely granted, for this was undeniably a case of justifiable homicide, or maybe, to be more correctly stated, justifiable chickicide. You be the judge.
We hope you enjoyed listening to Justifiable Homicide from Depression Baby. And if you did, my dad would like to tell you that right now on the device that you're listening on, you can click to subscribe for free and have the next episode waiting for you the minute it comes out automatically. Again, it's free and you'll be helping to preserve this important mountain heritage. If you're on iTunes, you should have a subscribe button right there. And if you're listening on RayBRogers.com, the little audio player that you've been playing from should have a subscribe button that'll let you subscribe on iTunes, Android, or whatever your preference is. Thanks again so much, and see you next episode right here on the Depression Baby Podcast.